Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining me. 5 a Day with Jay. I am your host, J.R. Murdock. How are you this evening? So glad that you're here. Did you miss me? Probably not, because I know there's one or two people that actually watch these videos. If you did miss me, I'm back. I'm back, and we are 15 days away from launch. 15. I need another hand. Actually, I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, yeah, okay, I still need another hand, even if you're counting by 12. Anyway, 15 days away from launch day. Giant Robot Planetary Competition, Book 2, Villain, comes out May 5th. I said 15? Yeah, something like that. 15 plus, yeah. I need to do the math. I need to get my brain back into everything. Mrs. and I went away on vacation. We went and had a couple days away. Nice long weekend, a couple really long hikes. One hike far longer than was expected. Another hike that was as long as expected, actually shorter than expected. Great time to get away. You can see I had a little bit of sunburn. Yes, I did apply sunscreen, but when you go on a 4-mile hike and wind up on an 11-mile hike, sunburn has a tendency to happen. So I got a little bit of sunburn. Thankfully, we were covered up. We didn't bring enough water. Planning ahead. This is something that we thought we had planned ahead. We thought we had enough water. Well, we had enough water for a short hike, but we wound up, as I said, on a longer hike than expected. So we circled back around, finally made it back to the car. Fortunately, we had bought water for our trip, and that was still in the truck, and it was not as hot in the vehicle as we thought it would be. So we managed to drink some water, get rehydrated, made some stops, got some food, got back to the room, showered, and just, okay, let's put this behind us. So that day, we walked out to dinner, got back, but that day, over 26,000 steps we put in. It was a long day, longer than we had anticipated. We intended to go for short, like I said, short little 4-mile hike, come back, go to lunch, go back to the hotel, and that was it. That was our plans. The following day, we did another hike. Oh, the trail we went was the Push Wallow Trail out in Palm Canyon, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. The trail goes, we started over a ridge. There's another one you can go around the ridge. We went over the ridge. And at the end, there's a sign that says Push Wallow, either direction. We went to the right. We went up on a service road, and it's like, okay, well, this has got to connect over here sooner or later. And by the time we kept on walking, it was like, okay, do we backtrack? Because it's a flat road. It was a much easier walk than going back over the ridge that we had just come, because that was a lot of up and down and up and down. Bad decisions were made. These things happen. At any rate, planning is something that we did better on the second trip. We had planned to actually hike up to the peak in a little tram, takes you up to the top of the ridge, up to the mountains. We wanted to hike up to the peak, but there's snow up there. So the ranger said, no, not unless you're planning on a much harder hike than you had anticipated. He recommended a different trip. It was a little less than 4 miles to out and back. Again, as I've said before, I've got bad knees, and I've now got these hiking poles. Awesome. They help out a lot. When I'm stepping down, I can put the pressure on my arms instead of stepping down and putting the pressure on my leg. Love these things. They're a godsend. But as I got into this, it was all about planning. One trip we had good planning, bad result. Second trip we had good planning, different result than expected. That's where I'm going forward with all of my writing. I'm planning everything out well in advance. When I look at the schedule that I have books scheduled all the way through the middle of 2023. It's only 2021. Yes, I've got 2 years worth of planning done in advance. That planning means I need to write 2 short stories a month and a book every other month. So I've got 60 days to write 4 short stories and a novel. I also have a job. The missus and I are also taking our little monthly trips. So scheduling and planning are very important to what I'm doing right now. Extremely important. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm working on getting everything laid out. as I've said repeatedly many times over the course of all of these, is I want to have things scheduled and on autopilot. That's why I'm working so hard to get things ready to go. I'm getting the book interiors done, the print interiors done, all of the ebooks done, so I can schedule as much as possible, as well in advance as possible, so that it just runs and content continues to drop. I just need to make a Facebook post, a tweet, a blog post, hey, new content is up. If I'm doing a 5-a-day with Jay, which will be on Wednesday when these things drop, I should be doing a 5-a-day with Jay unless I'm out of town. I can drop a little promo video. Hey, new book out. Check it out. It'll be awesome. New short story out. Woohoo! So I'm also looking at how to schedule those and have those prepared. I'm having a blast right now getting those things ready. I'm having fun. It's exciting. I'm starting to look at other authors that have done this before me, that have had success. How do they have success? Consistency, consistency, consistency. Putting out consistent work that is consistently good, on a consistent schedule, and keeping that schedule flowing without falter. Don't drop the ball and let things fall through. That's what I'm looking at doing, is getting all of this ready, preparing it, and pushing it out. We can do it. I believe the reason that I failed so many times before is I allowed myself to get sidetracked. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. Follow me along. When I tried to do this before, multiple times, I wanted to be successful right out of the gate. I wanted everybody to love and read my books. Don't we all? Every writer wants to drop a book, everybody loves it. Drop another book, everybody raves about it. It was much like this YouTube channel. I set my expectations at, I'm going to have a lot of people watch it at the beginning, and viewership will just plummet down to essentially nothing. My expectation with every video is 1 or 2 views, at best. When I drop the audio episode, 1 or 2 views. The blog posts, a lot more people are reading the blog than are watching the videos. That's expected. When I drop a blog post, I'm expecting 2 to 3 reads on the blog. I'm happy when I get anything more than that. I've said this before. I'm starting from zero. Big zero. All of my books, million plus on the Amazon charts. They're way down there at the bottom. One of them I think is in the 6 millions. They're way down. Fun to bottom out. My goal is not so much raising all of the books that I currently have, but pushing the V&A shipping series and getting that one up and getting that one lifted. I know it will raise other books up as well. It'll get other people reading more of my books. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. And by being consistent and focusing on this specific arc of books and communicating with people so that they understand what they're getting into when they start buying the books and reading the books. This isn't something that's just a short little set of books to read. It's a long arc. I need to make sure that I put something in the beginning of the books going, by the way, just because you're reading a series that's called Giant Robot Planetary Competition doesn't mean that it doesn't tie to the V&A shipping. It's all one universe. All the stories tie together. It's like with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They had a built-in history with the comics, so they really didn't need to explain, hey, every movie we put out is tied together. They needed to explain it in a mild fashion to people that weren't comic readers, but for the most part, people understood, oh, Thor, Iron Man, the Avengers, it's all building up into one big thing. So I need to make sure I get that communicated out to my readers so they understand, hey, this is a much bigger piece of the whole. That's, again, where my plan is coming in, is getting these out in an order that makes a little bit of sense when I release them. So I'm working on getting those prepared, getting them written, getting them ready. We can do this. I'm going to be open on the videos and on my blog about everything that I'm doing. Where am I advertising? Where am I pushing the books? Where am I being interviewed? I'm going, how well are the books doing? That's one thing that I think will be interesting for anybody that's following along that's a writer. How are my books performing over time? I plan to track month over month how each book is selling, how many copies are being sold. I'm going to be completely transparent. How well are the books performing? What did I price them at? All of that. So that way, if you're following along, you will know exactly where I'm at. Like I said, I expect to start way down at the bottom. I expect to drop a book and have 0 sales within the first month. Drop the print book, have 0 sales. That's my complete expectation. Short stories, I expect 1 or 2 sales per month per short story, at best. At best. That's my expectation. I'm setting my expectations as low as possible, because anything above that, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be excited. And it's all about maintaining that level of sanity. It's like walking into a movie. When I went into Pacific Rim, I had very low expectations for that movie. I loved the movie. Kong vs. Godzilla. I had very low expectations for that movie. I was blown away. Avatar, I had high expectations for that movie. Prometheus, super high expectations for that movie. Both of those movies failed miserably for me. It's all about setting expectations at this point. So, again, my expectations are bottom, at the floor. I don't expect people to even notice when I drop a book or a short story. I will advertise it everywhere I possibly can on social media, but I plan to get deeper into the series before I actually put money into advertising the series. I need to make sure I've got the ball rolling forward before I start going, hey, you never heard of me. Go buy my stuff. I need to make sure that people can come to my author page, to my blog, to my website, and go, hey, look at what this guy is doing. Look at this string of YouTube videos he's put together. Look at the string of blog posts he's put together, and look at all the releases of books that he has. This guy is going to stick around. I'm regaining the trust of people that have followed me in the past. I need to achieve trust with people who have never heard of me before. That's going to be the exciting part, is when I start to discover new readers, people who have never heard of anything I've done before, find the first V&A shipping book, stow away, pound through that book and go, oh my gosh, I need to find more. And then just start pounding through all the books that come subsequently. And then they're knocking on my door. Hey, I'd like to see the next one. Again, going to be transparent, going to be open about everything that happens and everything that I do. But we got to start somewhere. So again, we're starting at 0. We're starting at the bottom. I'm off to go get started. I'm hoping you'll stick around and enjoy everything with me. I have been Jay. You have been awesome. Until next time.